Hi, my name is Kay Rivers, and this is my sermon on Is Your Church Growth Dead or Alive? This is based on the lesson, The Empowered Church. Is your church growth dead or alive? We will be looking at number one, dedicate a prayer seat based on 1 Timothy 2:1. Secondly, we'll be looking at develop and invite me to church culture, Acts 2:47. Our third point will be develop new members, spiritual gifts, based on 1 Corinthians 12:4 through 6. And our fourth point will be walk the path of change with your congregation, 1 Peter 5:2 and 3. In the business world, customer service is the indicator of a thriving business or failing business. Good customer service will trump a good product all day. If customers have a bad experience with long wait times on the phone, long shipping times, rude agents, I can guarantee you that business will not last long. It really baffles me that the business world places a heavy emphasis on customer service, but we don't see congregants or new visitors with the same importance that businesses see their customers. Shouldn't our guest journey experience in church have the same level of importance? Shifting to a sports analogy, we have the Super Bowl every Sunday. Sunday is the most profound day of the week in church life. The Sunday experience can be an opportunity for someone to embrace a life of Christianity, or it can reinforce the negative perception the world tries to display about the church. This is crucial and should not be approached in a lackadaisical way. In business, the goal is to generate profits. In the Christian world, the goal is to create disciples. And true discipleship starts with how you see and manage your church. How business and church intersect is that people all have the same basic needs, and how those needs are met will dictate their response. A bad or negative restaurant experience will yield the same results when a new guest or visitor comes to your church for the first time. If their experience was negative, they will not come back. Just as a business has systems and processes in place to grow its customers and profits, we must be just as intentional in creating a true discipleship atmosphere, an incubator for both spiritual and personal growth. Here's some measurement indicators you can look at to give you some indication of your church growth. One, has your yearly attendance increased or declined in the last year? Two, has your financial giving increased or declined in the last year? Three, what is your volunteer retention rate? Four, has your kids' ministry increased or declined over the last year? Five, have your small groups increased or declined over the last year? Six, have you had to add additional ministries or events to accommodate growth and diversity in your congregation? Seven, do you have high staff turnover rates? Remember, growth is a sign of life. Every number is actually a name that is important to heaven, and heaven is intentional about every person. Real growth is the discipline to move past what's comfortable and move into a state of intentional action. Without keeping the challenge of reaching new people, our faith can become routine. Therefore, if you've looked at the previously mentioned growth indicators and they have stayed the same over the last 3 years, then strongly consider taking these next steps to jumpstart your church growth. One, pray over the seats in the sanctuary. Every Sunday when you sit down, look for anyone who isn't there yet. 1 Timothy 2:1 says, I urge you then, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for all people. Two, develop an invite culture. Create sit with me cards to give to members to invite others to church. Using these types of ministry cards can make it easy for people to introduce themselves and their church. Luke 14:23, and the master said to the servant, go out to the highways and hedges and compel people to come in, that my house may be filled. 3. Helping new members realize that they have spiritual gifts can be an easy on ramp for them to find a place to volunteer. As the church grows, there must be a strong supporting body that starts with the volunteer team. This is a win win for everyone. 1 Corinthians 12:4 through 6. There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. 4. Walk the path of growth pains with your congregation. Growth brings change, and change brings a lot of unknown situations to navigate. Some people can adapt very well to change, and others resist. Prepare your staff and volunteers on how to help the congregants navigate the changes that growth is bringing. Walk side by side with your church by offering constant encouragement. When you keep expressing how beneficial the changes will be, people are able to adapt faster and quicker. Church growth isn't about getting bigger, but it is about the kingdom getting broader. It's about the discipline to keep an outward focus instead of having an inward focus. Therefore, go out into the harvest. The gospel is ready and the mission is clear. Thank you.